Hey there, Michelle Pescosolido here.
Hey, and I'm Bill Pescosolido, and you are here for another episode of Real Talk with Bill and Michelle Pescosolido. So as you're joining us here on the Facebook Live, just give a shout out as to where you're watching this from and what you'd like to get out of this conversation today.
Yeah, meaning like not from your couch, but like what city? Like we love to see where you guys are from. We've got some really cool people from like what are some places like
Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes, that is so cool.
Other places too. How's the lighting?
Italy, UK.
Wow, we're like kind of matching today.
We are. Do you know what's funny, guys? The other day we're like installing this water purification system while we're waiting for everybody to come on here. I saw I had a typo. Thank you, Kurt, for that.
We have typos a lot, or she does at least.
Hopefully, anyway, so we're out in the front yard and we're looking for the water turn off in the front of our house because we're installing a whole home water filtration system. And the Palmer guy looks at us and goes, "Oh, how cute. You guys have the same shirt on." Yeah, we did not do that on purpose, but we had like this A. Weber shirt on that we got at the Traffic and Conversion Summit. It was really funny, but it's super soft. I love it.
Yeah, they're nice shirts. So shout out to A. Weber. You got great shirts.
Yeah, I doubt A. Weber's on here, but awesome. So we got Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah, Mary Elise.
Trinidad.
Trinidad.
And we got North Carolina.
Amy from British Columbia. Awesome.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nice. Sharon's in the house.
Country capital of the world.
Very cool. Yeah. So keep coming out. Share where you're watching this from. Your city, your state, your country, your continent, your island, your province, wherever the heck.
We like to see where you're from. So then we'll know, like, if you guys come on here a lot and you guys are like family to us, and then we show up Stockholm, Sweden. So if we show up in Stockholm, Sweden, we can call Helena and say, "Hey,
we're here.
We're here. What's up? Show us around town."
Yeah, let's do a Facebook Live from your house.
Yeah, Kurt from Los Angeles. Awesome. I love Los Angeles. What's the weather like in Los Angeles?
Probably warm.
Phoenix, Arizona. Well, the wind is blowing here in Frisco like crazy.
It is. My allergies are kicking too like crazy. But just so you know, so we're going to talk about how you can have a mind of steel today. Today's episode of Real Talk with Bill and Michelle will be all about getting a mind of steel. And before we get into that, and as you're coming out, keep telling us where you're from and keep saying hello and so forth.
Yes.
But the reason why it's important to have a mind of steel, especially if you're in business for yourself, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you are your own boss, is because having a mind of steel, which is what we're going to cover here in a second and what you'll learn, can be the difference of making it in your business or not. It can be the difference of overcoming challenges and obstacles or not.
Right.
It can be the difference in, getting the things you need to get done or not. Right. So.
Hey, Misha.
Hey, Misha's here. So, it's, and a lot of people, they're like, mindset, like, personal development training, mindset training. Like, I just want to learn how to generate leads. Or I just want to learn how to, I just want to learn the tactical stuff. I want to just, I want you guys to tell me how I should target my ads on Facebook instead. And I get that.
But to be successful at that, you have to have a good mindset.
Yes.
Because if you don't, you could easily get frustrated and fail at those strategies. And so what we're teaching today is going to help you. So it is more, goes beyond just the strategies that we're teaching.
Absolutely. And it all starts with having a mind of steel, which we're going to get to in a second. And hey, there's someone from Naples, Florida. Who could that
who
be?
could have the same last name as you?
Oh my God.
That is so cool.
That is hilarious.
Tony's in Playa del Carmen. Are you always there, Tony? Or do you live there? Man, we'll come look you up when we come there too. And Glenn's from Vancouver. Is there snow in Vancouver right now?
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Let's get this going.
Did you get your energy drink going?
Well, I don't think people want to just sit here.
Yes, you guys love interacting with us. Come on.
Interact.
Okay, all right.
But they want the goods. They want to get the goods. Do you guys want the goods? Do you want the goods? So say yes. Yeah, we want to hear it. Do you want the goods? Do you want the training? Or do you want us to just sit here and interact and kind of jibber jabber away?
No. Just for 3 weeks. Okay,
just
cool.
For 3
He's
weeks.
in Playa del Carmen.
Oh, gotcha.
So where should we start? I'm looking at notes here.
Mary Elise wants us to get get this party started.
So here's the deal, guys. So let's kind of talk about this, because when we start, a task, or we start having to make decisions in our business, what oftentimes will happen is we will get something called brain fatigue or decision fatigue. And I experienced that last night because I have been doing a lot of decision making over the past 3 or 4 days. And what has happened is by the evening, my brain just shuts off. Like, we had a problem with the internet the other night, and Bill's like wanting me to go fix it because I'm CTO in the house. And CTO was off. The brain was shut down. And the reason why that is happening if it's happening to you, is because we make so many decisions throughout our day. Like, what am I going to eat for breakfast? What do I need to get at the grocery store? Do I need to sort these clothes to dark to light colors? What kind of laundry detergent should I be using? What should I eat for lunch? Should I do arms or back when I go to the gym? I'm looking to buy a new mattress. What kind of mattress should I buy? I've got to research. I need to buy a new Facebook product. Just go buy Michelle's. No decision needs to be made there. But you're doing all of this like decision making throughout your day. And what happens is your brain just starts to shut down because it's focusing on all these small little decisions that should really just be simple decisions. And the way to make that happen in your life is, and it's not going to happen for every decision you make, but is to create what we call these routines in your life. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about here. And if you do that by creating habits, creating routines, it will give you the fuel you need to tackle those really big decisions, like fixing the internet. That's kind of a big thing. I needed to really fix that since our entire business is based off the internet.
Right. Well, and so what's funny is that, you probably hear stories about, for example, Steve Jobs, back when he was living, he would always wear the same jeans and a turtleneck.
Yes.
Same thing, Mark Zuckerberg. If you ever see Mark Zuckerberg, he's always dressed in like the exact same thing. He's always wearing kind of like just like, I guess, jeans and like a gray t-shirt or something like that. Yeah. And there's a reason for that. And this goes back to what Michelle's talking about. What they have done by doing that, and it's such a small thing, and it might sound like, really, like that makes a difference, but it does. They wear the same clothes every single day because it's one less decision they have to make, right? They don't want to spend valuable brain time or valuable brain capacity or valuable, decision-making capacity on something that really doesn't matter. Like what you're wearing, like the color of your shirt, does it match your jeans? Like for them, they're like, that doesn't matter. I have bigger fish to fry than my outfit of today. So they said, let me just remove that decision-making altogether. Right. And it's just one less thing I have to put any kind of bandwidth into mentally to think about or decide upon. Right. So that just left them that much more focused to focus on, to allocate that mental bandwidth on important things. And so when we talk about like a morning routine, Michelle and I were reading something recently, and I forgot what it was that we were reading, but they talked about how some of the most successful people, their morning routine, it's the same every single day for that reason I just talked about. You're making your brain have to do less decisions, right? So if you have a morning routine, which is like get up, brush your teeth, whatever, go have breakfast. You have the same breakfast every day.
I eat the same breakfast every morning.
I eat the same thing every day, right? I have my routine where I got my cereal, I got my coffee at the coffee machine. I do it in order, like every little thing. I do the same thing every single time. I go to the drawer, I grab a big spoon and a little spoon, because I know I'm going to need them. I grab the bowl. I grab all the stuff because Michelle jokes I eat like my berries and twigs and stuff like that for breakfast.
It's called sticks and berries.
But I do this, and I do the same thing every single day. So there's no decision making there for me.
Yes. Now,
ideally, your morning routine is going to revolve somewhat around also waking you up and preparing you to make decisions throughout the day. So that's why a lot of times that morning routine involves breakfast, might involve coffee, things like that to kind of help wake you up, kind of get you aware, kind of help get you prepared. But that's what that routine should be. It should be the same thing every day. And it should be designed to make you, start getting you awake and alert and prepared to start tackling the real decisions that you've got to make, which are decisions in your business.
Absolutely. So let's dive into some of those strategies to help you kind of create that mind of steel that's going to help you be more productive and more successful in your business. And I just gave away number one is to become more productive. And how can you become more productive? Well, one, I bet you a lot of you guys can guess this. We really need to be getting plenty of sleep. I mean, if you're sleep deprived, your brain doesn't have enough fuel to make decisions, to complete tasks, to write out your goals, to do those money-making activities that you know you need to do in your business. So getting enough sleep is very, very important. For those of you that love to meditate, meditate, take time out. I mean, I don't meditate. I don't even know how to do it. I can't sit still.
Let's hang on one second. So Michelle and I have been doing a lot of Peloton lately.
Yes.
And if you all know what the Peloton is, if you know what the Peloton is, just comment below. If you don't know what the Peloton is, comment below. Basically, I'm shamelessly looking for comments right now. Hey, Jan Fansler in the hizzo. So the Peloton, it's an exercise bike, and it's all these.
It's amazing.
You've probably seen the commercials. Yeah. Anyway, there's a cool down ride, or several different cool down rides that I'll do or Michelle will do after the ride is over. And there's one guy, one of the trainers, that always talks about recovery. And for an athlete and recovery. And he says, what do you think is the most important thing for an athlete for recovery? And most people are like, to stretch afterwards, or to drink lots of fluids, or to cool down properly, or whatever. And he said, no, those are all great things, but really the most important thing, and all, high-end athletes, all professional athletes, all, extreme athletes, they all know this. The most important thing for recovery is sleep, getting at least 8 hours of sleep. That's the most important thing. More important than stretching, more important than hydration, more important than anything. It's getting 8 hours of sleep in between your last workout and your next workout if you want to be in optimal performance. Now, this is a peak athlete. Well, we need to be at our peak from a business standpoint, from a thinking standpoint, productivity standpoint. And so I don't want to gloss over the sleep thing, because I think that and it kind of sounds like, really, I hopped on this training to learn, get enough sleep. But I can't, underemphasize how important getting actually enough sleep, getting 8 hours of sleep every night is, if you want to be able to perform in a peak manner the next day or the day after that. So get enough
plenty
sleep.
of sleep. Hey, Victoria, welcome. Well, exactly. So some of the things that you can do to help yourself be more productive is, yes, the sleep. Meditate. For those of you that guys like to meditate, maybe some yoga. Create daily rituals or daily habits. That is so important. We touched on that in the beginning. So create those daily habits, create those daily routines, those evening routines. So that might be in the evenings. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Is journaling is really, really good, where you can just brain dump everything that you're thinking, you're feeling throughout the day, the things you've accomplished. Avoid multitasking. Now, I am the queen of multitasking.
I'm the king of not multitasking. I'm horrible at it.
Yeah, and I don't feel it hinders me, because I can complete a lot of projects at once. But apparently, studies have shown that multitasking is hey, Dwayne from Texas too. Awesome to have you here. So multitasking, yes, from studies are showing that is actually a non-productive types of activity, because you're never going to complete things. Now, if you're great at multitasking and you can complete things, all 5 of the things you're multitasking on, then you're a queen or a king of multitasking. But most people cannot do that. So avoid multitasking.
And in fact, here's an interesting thing.
Yes.
A little tidbit for you, a little juicy nugget.
Are you going to share it's like being high on weed again?
Studies show, no.
Oh, your mom's on here.
That when you multitask, because you're dividing your attention amongst a few different things, right? So think about if you were trying to do 3 things at once versus just that one activity or that one task at the same time at once, right? When you multitask, it is the equivalent of doing those same things as if you were drunk. Right, meaning your brain, your effectiveness at any one of those tasks, because you want to feel like you're buzzed. Your brain, because you are splintering your focus, your effort, your energy, everything across the board on 2 or 3 or 4 things. It is the equivalent of as if you're doing any one of those things, but being really drunk. Yeah. Right. That's how bad multitasking is. So it's like, I've got 4 things to do. Do I want to do all 4 of them and have them be 15% as good as they could be out of 100%? Or do I want to just do one thing and have it be 100%? That's the choice. So clearly in this case, unless you happen to be some kind of super alien being who can multitask really effectively, which I argue, that's tough.
Well, I think
don't multitask. Like literally just compartmentalize.
Exactly.
Compartmentalize and literally say, this is my time for this thing right now. And give all your time and effort and attention on that one thing. And here's the deal, because if that thing, so if you've got multiple tasks to do, right? What you're saying to yourself is that these are all important, right? I want to give each one of these tasks my full attention, my full effort, my full focus, because I've clearly indicated this is an important thing. Why would I want to shoot myself in the foot by multitasking and have any one of those important things get done with less focus or be less complete as a result of my shattered attention?
Yes, and Hillary, you make up a good point here. What if you find what I find is, even though I'm multitasking, I'm really not. And yeah, I mean, that can happen because oftentimes the task that we have at hand tends to have multiple different tasks within them. But that's how you need to, that's one of those things you got to just kind of write down. What does the task require us to do? And those are basically, look at them as steps and complete each step along the way. So multitasking. And then I mentioned keep a journal at night, to really be more productive, because oftentimes some of our greatest ideas come when we're just laying in bed at night, and rethinking, because our mind is shut down, or at least trying to shut down. And you start thinking about, what you could have done better for the day, or what you should have done, or maybe what you did really, really great, or maybe how you can add more to a project that you're doing that will enhance it and make it even better. So keep a journal. It's really good for just kind of brain dumping, and it should be a personal type of journal for you. Nobody else has to read that. And to be more productive also is, staying motivated and having a vision board. Why are you doing this? We all oftentimes, we've talked about this in previous lives, that sometimes we get in a funk, like, why am I doing this? And it's usually because you have lost the visual motivation of why you're doing things. For me, my vision board would probably be, a beach with a nice condo in Belize, us sitting out on our porch, drinking some mimosas in the morning, throwing food to the little birdies, draw all of that, not draw, just cut out pictures from magazines, unless you're a really good artist. But, we have to kind of keep that. Okay, no problem, Tony. So we have to keep that vision board to keep us productive, and then shut off distractions. Oh my gosh, there are so many distractions in our life. Facebook, such a huge distraction. I kind of look at it this way, is when I'm bored and I'm sitting on the couch in the evenings, I'll go through Facebook. I'll go through the news feed, just because I know in our business, we still need to be social. Emails. I don't really even check those once a day anymore. Like I used to, but I just get so many that it's hard for me to, and I know that it will be a distraction, suck me down the rabbit hole. And that can lead to us being non-productive. Absolutely.
And so one of the things that I try to do to help with this, because someone talked about how multitasking is a necessary evil, and yeah, I guess that can be true, or just the need to take breaks, or the need to remove these distractions. So what I'll do is I'll work in chunks, right? I'll literally, and oftentimes I even bring my phone in with me. And even though the phone can be a distraction, I'll bring my phone in with me because there's a timer on it. And I'll set the timer for 40 minutes. Or usually 42 minutes. I'll make it some kind of a kind of a random number, like 41 or 42 minutes. And I set the timer, and then I just put my phone down, turn my phone upside down, because I'll hear the timer once it goes off. But I will focus on whatever I'm working on. I'll have that as the only thing going on for whatever length of time until my timer goes off. Right. And so I know that I've given 40 minutes or 42 minutes, or whatever it is, of my singular, undivided attention on that specific thing for our business. Now, what I'll then do is, after that 41 minutes is over, I'll then set another timer for 8 minutes. And that's my break. Right. So I'll give myself the 42 minutes, knowing that, because a lot of times too, I don't know if this is like you, if this sounds like you at all, comment below. Comment with a yes or the number 1. Come with the number 1 below if this is you. Sometimes you'll look at what you've got to get done. And you'll see, I got to get this done. I gotta get that done. I gotta get these other things done. And this, I'm talking business stuff. This could be just like life stuff, just like, chores or whatever. And you're like, oh my God, this is so much. How am I going to get all this stuff done? Like, I don't have enough time to get all these things done. And it can kind of become a little overwhelming. It kind of looks like this huge mountain that you have to climb. And that in and of itself, that just sort of pressure of this sort of dauntingness of it, the huge, like, I got all these things I got to do. Sometimes that alone is what will prevent you from tackling any of these things, right? So here's why I do a 40-minute or 42-minute chunk. And that's just the time that I set. It allows me to not think about all the things I have to do, because I don't want to think about all the stuff I have to do, because that'll seem like a lot, and I'll procrastinate it and it'll seem overwhelming. So instead I flip this switch in my mind and says, I'm just going to work for 41 minutes.
So true, yes.
Right? All I'm going to do is work straight for 41 minutes or 42 minutes or whatever, 40 minutes. Because that doesn't seem very hard to me, right? To sit here and say, all I got to do is sit here and focus for 40 minutes on work. That's not a big deal. That's not like, I got to get this done, I got to get that done, I got to
You can do anything for 30 minutes.
Right, exactly. So I'm tricking my mind to be like, no, just focus for 40 minutes, Bill. Don't worry about all this stuff. Just worry about 40 minutes. And that's why I give myself then a break after that, so I can get up, move around, shake it, get my blood moving, maybe get a snack, maybe check emails then, maybe not. Maybe look at the phone on Facebook then, maybe not, but probably just move around, wiggle. And then I go back again to another 40-minute block, because again, I'm not sitting here saying, I got to get this done, I got to get that done. It's literally, Bill, all you got to do is just sit focused for 40 minutes.
He had his energy drink again. Time. All right. So we got a lot of ones from that. It was awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yes. You guys dropped a lot of ones. Hey, what's up? Is it Usman? So welcome. All right. So let's jump into getting, helping you guys get that mind of steel as number 2, conquering your goals. We're going to talk about a few little strategies and go quickly with this on conquering goals.
Earlier we're joking. We're like, let's try to make this one quick. And I was like, and then Michelle's like, but wait, we're both going to be there. I'm like, no, that's good, because you keep me on track. You keep me focused. You keep it short. Because you're here. If I was here by myself, I'd be like, blah, 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 like an hour and a half.
Conquering goals. We're going to help you conquer those goals. So number 1,
it's like reels me in. You
really need to create reality-based goals. I mean, don't set goals that are totally unrealistic. They're not attainable. There's just no way on earth that you're going to achieve them. There's nothing wrong with thinking big by any means, but create some reality goals that are actually reachable, but are going to take some work to get there. And as you do that, and as you start, thinking of your goals, you want to start building a roadmap. How are you going to get there? And by you taking the strategies we talked about earlier of becoming more productive, you're going to be able to achieve these goals, because now you're building out a roadmap. And we've already talked about, how to manage your day, how not to procrastinate, how not to multitask. So build the roadmap, write out what it's going to take for you to get there. If you're very visual, get your whiteboard out and create little steps and blocks. And as soon as you complete those steps, check them off, put a gold star there, celebrate, have a glass of wine, a vodka soda, go out for the evening, party up like it's 1999, whatever you have to do, celebrate those small wins, because that will keep you motivated. And that's another thing is you want it, as we said earlier, if you lose sight of your goal, go back to the roadmap. And if you question yourself, why am I doing this? Go back to your board, that visual board that you created that gets you motivated. It fires you up. You can picture yourself there. All right. When you create your vision board, you want to know, when you look at that, you want to say, I can see myself there. This roadmap that I created is going to get me there. Now I need to tackle it and celebrate those small wins along the way. And by all means, do not let detours get in your way. Detours are life's challenges. Life, if it's God, if it's the energy, whatever you believe in, they are put in front of you for a test to see if you're strong enough. to see if you're willing to fail, to see if you're willing to back down, because somebody on the back end, maybe I shouldn't have said God, maybe the devil or something, is going to sit there and they're going to sit back laughing, ha ha ha. I stuck that roadblock in front of John's way and he failed. That's exactly what I wanted to do. See, he's not that strong. Don't let that happen. Bust through those detours. You are capable of doing it, and finish out that map and never give up. Yes. And achieve that goal. I knocked that one out.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. And and I forgot, I was going to say something awesome. I forgot what it was now.
Okay.
Kind of bummed about that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
If you like that big motivational speech that I just did, drop a 2.
Yes, type a 2.
While he adds in, or say, yes, Michelle.
If what Michelle just said was awesome, which it was, type a 2 in the comment section below. So here's what I was going to say. So adding to what Michelle said about the visual thing and the vision board and the celebrating the small wins. And this is key because for us and likely for you, when you're building your business, so I used to work, in corporate America. I've always had a boss, right? And probably a lot of you have bosses or had a boss. When you have a job and you have a boss, usually there's the accountability there, which is the boss saying, hey, did you get that done? Or when are you going to get that done? Or we need this by 5 o'clock or whatever, right? And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? You have a boss that's providing that, forcing that accountability upon you, right? And now, depending upon the structure of your job, they might be able to, lead with the carrot, which is dangling the carrot like motivation, or they might be able to, hit you with the stick, which is kind of like if you don't do a good job, you get penalized somehow, right? The old like a horse-drawn carriage. You could either motivate them with the carrot, which is you dangle the carrot in front of the horse, but they keep walking towards it, right? The prize. Or you motivate them with the stick, which is whacking the horse. That's like an old-fashioned saying, right? So, but when you're working for yourself, there's really not much of a stick there. There's really no one saying, hey, I need the TPS report by 5 o'clock, right? Or else you're fired, right? There's no one like, we need this done by a certain time, or there's no like, hey, have you hit your quota yet? Or have you finished those reports? Like, it's just you, right? So we need to make tangible things that I feel is the carrot, which is why what Michelle said, celebrating those little wins makes them actually more real and more tangible, because there is a little bit of a victory as a result of that. And that's kind of, leading with the carrot, right? If you have that vision board, that's literally, why am I doing this? Oh, it's so I can, attain, so I can get that house or go on that vacation or spend more time with my children or my family or whatever it is for you. It makes it more tangible. It takes it from being just something if I ever get that would be kind of nice to have. It makes it like a real actual thing there for you. It's going to be a tangible thing to strive for. So, and I think we need that because again, when you're working for yourself, when you are your own boss, you got to find ways to kind of have the carrot and the stick. You got to sort of trick yourself into like, I got to get this done or else, because no one else is going to do it other than you.
Absolutely. And Jan, you made a good, one of your favorite sayings, be the toughest boss you have ever had and be the best employee you would ever hire, and your business will explode.
Ooh, I like that.
That's really great, Jan. Everybody give Jan a shout out. Yay, Jan. That was really, really good. So let's move on to the next one on how to really create that mind of steel.
Sure. How
many of you guys, comment below, actually have fears? All right. I would think that most everybody has some sort of fear. And beyond like snakes, like I'm really afraid of snakes. That's really not going to hinder my business.
I'm afraid of prison.
Are you going to prison soon?
No, I'm afraid. I literally am so afraid of going to prison. Like I will literally obey the law just because I'm afraid of what would happen to me.
He's watched way too many television shows lately.
I just could not deal with prison. So, I will literally I was gonna kill that guy, but no, I will die in prison. So I don't. That's what.
So I'm not talking those kind of fears. I'm talking about fears within your business. What is holding you back in those fears? And those fears are normal. So yes, fears. And we won't call you out. But I just want to know, that you guys are feeling those too sometimes in your business. And what I want you to know is it's okay. But you've got to be able to overcome those fears. So we're going to kind of give you some tips. I think it looks like 6 of them, and we're going to be very brief with these on how to overcome these fears. But I want to tell you a little cute story. It's not cute, but it really puts it into perspective. It is kind of cute, that I read earlier as, you know, we were kind of doing our own little research on things. It was about 2 boys that jumped into a lake, and they were going to swim across the lake together. And it was pretty far. So as they were swimming, they got about halfway, and one of the boys turned around and went back, and the other boy made it to the other side. And he thought to himself, where did my friend go? And he saw him on the other side, and he thought, what happened? So he went over, they met back up, and he said, hey, why did you not keep going? Why did you not keep following me? And he said, because I got scared. I looked and saw how far it was to get to that other side with you, and I got scared. I was fearful, so I swam back. And he said, why did you swim back? It took the same amount of effort for you to swim back as it would have taken you to get to the other side. So I thought that was a really, really powerful analogy, or just kind of.
What did the little boy say?
Well, he said, you're absolutely right.
Oh.
I mean, it did. I mean, because think about it. You're halfway there. If you go back, it just took him the same amount of effort to get back there. And had he have just faced his fears, he could have made it to the other side and been happy. He would have accomplished something. So fear is normal. But I think that one of the things that I read, I don't know if it's there, something about fear. Oh, fear is an emotion that overrides our intelligence. That is so powerful. Fear is an emotion that overrides our intelligence. I mean, like when I see, and again, it's not business related, but when I see a snake, I lose all intelligence. In fact, I lose my marbles. I lose everything, and I run and I scream. Good example of losing your intelligence right there. So let's talk about, you can go into number 1 there if you want to, unless you want me to do it, on how to overcome fear.
I want you to do it, Michelle.
Okay. Develop some self-confidence. All right. Have faith in yourself. Just get rid of the compare-itis, because that's probably the biggest reason is because you look at what everybody else does in a business that's similar to you, and they're so amazing. But what you don't realize is they've had years and years probably of practice. Maybe they are a natural. It's okay. But you've got to develop your own self-confidence, and you have to be self-aware of your feelings. All right. So when you feel that fear creeping up, or you feel those messages coming across in your head that are negative and really beating you down, become self-aware of that those are the voices inside of your head that you are 100% capable of controlling. And you can shut those off. You can shut those voices off. So develop that self-confidence and shut down those voices in your head that telling you that you can't do that.
And there's a good, I'm going to jump into the next one, but there's a good comment that just came over from Maria. She says a fear that she has, a fear of not producing engaging content. Lots of posts, little response, feels like work down the drain. And I'm really glad that you brought that up, Maria. It's a little bit, I mean, slightly off track as far as the things we have listed here, but that's and that's an excellent point. And that's like a perception thing, meaning like what you are perceiving to have happen. Right. So the thing here is like, so she creates this content. She puts that content out there on social media or on her website or blog or wherever. And she's getting very little then people, I guess, engaging, very little people responding. And she feels that this is work down the drain. I understand that completely. But here's the thing. Here's what I want you to know. That just because no one is maybe actively clicking the like button or actively commenting or actively sharing this in a way that you could see, like from a stat standpoint, which by the way, likes, comments, shares, those are all vanity stats.
Yes.
Right. So first of all, get that, make sure we understand that. These are vanity stats. You could not walk into a bank right now and sit down with the bank manager, the banker, and say, I'd like to cash in all my Facebook likes and I'd like you to write me a check for those, please. Or like, how are you going to pay for this house? Well, I have 14 comments over my blog. I was going to use those comments in my blog to help get a mortgage here for the house, right? You guys, right? These are vanity stats, right? They actually don't mean much at all other than making us feel like, ooh, look at all my likes and shares, and I feel better about myself. So understand that. Secondly, number 2, a lot of people like to kind of be voyeurs, and not in a weird, creepy way, but a lot of people like to just observe and watch and not actively comment or like or share or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to give an example of that real quick. So I had posted in our Social Media Branding Academy group. It's one of our Facebook courses on branding. And I had put a message in there and I didn't see any likes or comments, but the call to action was just send a message to the support desk. And we're getting all these emails. And I'm thinking, wow, nobody in here is even seeing or liking or commenting or responding to the status update. But they were, because I saw all those emails. So that is a good example that you're giving right there is people are looking. All right. Yeah. And it's about consistency. And there are things that you can do to increase that engagement by doing paid ads also. But it's
a whole nother training for a whole nother time.
That again, when I talk about that inner self, be self-aware of your inner feelings, that's letting the outside forces affect you and causing you fear. You are in control of that. So definitely. So
yeah. So don't let the perception of what you think might be or might not be happening control you or make you or force you to think this is wasted time. I'm not doing a good enough job. You really you could be doing an amazing job. Just because people aren't proactively clicking or liking or sharing or whatever doesn't mean they're not still watching it, reading your content, getting value from it, and getting to know, like, and trust you more as a result of that.
And the other tips are to overcome fear, proceed past that procrastination. We talked earlier about how to overcome a procrastination and carry out your commitment. I mean, if you're going to commit to something, carry it out. And oftentimes those commitments require consistency. So, and that's what you have to do. You have to finish it out. If you're going to set forth on something and set a goal and finish it, you've got to be committed to it and finish it. And you can't let those fears stop you or obstacles stop you. Be self-aware of those voices inside of your head is what's really important.
Absolutely. And the procrastination thing is a good one because have suffered from and struggled with procrastination all of my life. It still hinders me to this day. And so I've kind of read a little bit about this and like why do people procrastinate? What is it? And procrastination really is just an avoidance technique. Mm-hmm. It's what you're procrastinating task XYZ.
And that's what we're about to talk about, squash any procrastination.
So if you understand what procrastination is, it's an avoidance technique or an avoidance tactic, meaning it's your brain. Our brain, there's a part of our brain that's trying to condition to like protect ourselves always. There's like the whole, fight or flight thing that we have in our brain. And our brain in certain ways is designed to protect us from harm, from bad things, from, getting, back in the historical times, it was just to survive. Nowadays, you don't really have to worry about survival. There's no woolly mammoths that are going to attack us like there was back in historical times. But our brain is still wired the same way. It's designed to protect us and to remove us from danger. Procrastination is just your brain thinking there's something there that might be dangerous or might cause us fear or might cause us embarrassment or might cause us something. So as my brain is saying, okay, so push that off. So you won't ever have to possibly experience that fear, that embarrassment, that, whatever that negative feeling is. But here's the thing, and here's where the key is. Your brain has sit here and said that bad thing is going to happen. That's why I'm procrastinating. But the reality is we don't know if any negative things will actually happen. Right? There's no proof, there's no guarantee, there's nothing to say that if you do this thing, that you will be placed in an embarrassing situation or be placed in a compromising situation or be placed in a dangerous situation or whatever the negative thing is. There's nothing to say that will actually happen. So what you're really procrastinating is it's the fear of unknown. Like we don't know that that's going to happen or not. So why would you prevent yourself from experiencing potential success, potentially building your brand or getting more leads or making commissions or signing up a new rep or getting a customer or whatever? Why would you prevent that positive thing from happening? Right. Simply because there's this fear of this, it might possibly turn out to be not what I thought when you just don't know, right? So procrastinating something that you know you need to do is almost just putting off your own success as opposed to really, removing yourself from a dangerous or bad situation.
And that's kind of our last tip right there. I mean, squashing procrastination, you did a great job of really talking about how to squash that. But I do want to ask you guys something real quick because I want you to comment below and tell me, have you ever faced a fear and you went through, like you were fearful of something, but you went ahead and did it anyways? Comment below and tell me how you felt. All right, be specific. How did you feel? Did you feel accomplished? Did you feel proud of yourself? Did you feel like you were sparkling with gold and glitter all over you and you were carrying, you know, I mean, how did you feel?
Did you feel,
yes.
or did you feel like, oh my gosh, why was I
so
afraid of
fearful
that? Yeah, that was ridiculous. Why was I spent like 10 years of my life being afraid of that, and I finally did it, and that was so silly.
So yeah,
that happened.
Think of a time when you faced your fear and you went through and did it anyways. How did you feel? Comment below, all right? Even if you're watching this recording, comment below, because I'm going to share with you something. Probably one of the most fearful things that I can think of right now. I'm sure there's something far fearful
Let's
out
wait
there.
For some. Wait for some.
Well, I'm going to tell a story, and then we're going to read them.
Okay.
So we went to Puerto Rico, I guess 4 or 5 years ago, and they have the tallest zip line course in the world. So Jan said relieved. It's got exactly.
In the Western Hemisphere.
And was in the Western Hemisphere. So we had to hike up through a bunch of different like zip lines and everything all the way to the top.
It's a very kind of mountainous region.
And once we got to the top, I looked up there, and the only way down was, there's 2 ways down. You ride the zip line, the biggest one out there in the Western Hemisphere, or you climb all the way back down. And I was not going to do that. I was exhausted, but I was up there going, I'm not doing this either. I was so fearful that I literally was going to pass out. If I didn't pass out, I was going to throw up. And I was sitting there on the edge because there was this little concrete thing, and I was watching people go. And I finally just said, if I don't go now, I'm never going. I mean, and that's sometimes what we have to do when we face fear in the face.
And then I pushed her.
No, I got up there.
That would have been awesome if I had.
Oh my God, it was so. I got up there, and did I go? I think I had someone go with me, or did I go by myself? No, I went with myself. The kids. There's nothing worse than watching your young children go on something you're so fearful of first.
And they were not fearful.
No. So no, Mackenzie was.
Mackenzie was.
So I finally went. It was scary. Yes, I had trouble holding this thing because you have to hold on to it so you don't spin out of control all the way down. Will I ever do it again? Probably not. But I faced the I faced my fear, and as your comments are coming in, that's exactly some of the things that I felt. It was exhilarating. It was, I mean, what do you call it when the endorphins are going? Adrenaline rush.
Endorphins rush, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I felt so proud. Yes, relaxed. I did it. Oh my gosh, now I can do something else. You know, it builds up that self-confidence, and that's what we have to do as entrepreneurs and business owners. If you don't have that self-confidence now, it's because most likely you're fearful, and you have to start facing your fears to build up that self-confidence so you become invincible.
So let's real quick, I want to read just some of your comments about how you felt, you know, at a certain point in your life, you overcame some kind of a fear, how you felt afterwards as a result of that. So we got someone said relieved. Someone said, yes, I felt like, wow, that was easy.
Yeah.
Someone said grateful. Someone said it worked out, no problem at all. Felt grateful. Proud of myself that I got over my fear and taken a risk with this particular company. Nice. It's the best thing I did. I believe my life will change. Wow. I felt that, wow, I can actually do more than I thought I could.
Ooh, see, building that self-confidence.
That is very cool. Someone says, I always feel proud and relaxed when I'm through it. Every time it comes out as, and then they use fear as an acronym.
Yeah.
So false events that are not real.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. It's kind of like what you were saying. You make up all of these consequences that are going to happen if you face something.
And they really might not happen at all.
Yeah.
And so
and you miss the opportunity.
Michelle talked about, you know, a ziplining, you know, moment, and who knows what the moments you all were talking about, but think about the reactions I just read. Those were all incredibly powerful, positive, empowering types reactions that you all commenting felt after you finally overcame something that had been holding you back for a while. So if that's how these people all felt, like there was not one single negative thing there. No one said like, oh, I totally regretted it because it turned out horribly.
Snapchat, yeah.
No, everyone basically commented it in some positive ways how it turned out. So think about that now for you right now in your business. What is one thing, and you don't have to comment below, but just think right now, what is one thing that you are procrastinating, that you are afraid to conquer, that you feel you're afraid to tackle, and it's something holding you back? Think what that one thing is, and then go back and look at the comments of what your own peers, your own people have said how they felt after actually overcoming something that was holding them back. And tell me that you can't overcome this thing now that's holding you back. You can. You absolutely can. Just tackle it. And don't think about what might possibly happen in a negative way. Think about how great it's going to be in a positive way once you finally have overcome that and you've achieved that thing, you've conquered that fear or that goal or whatever it is. That's what the big takeaway is here for you today.
Absolutely. And I just snapped all of you guys, by the way. You're all on the Snap story.
You've all been snapped.
Yes. So give us some loves and some likes if you liked this. We are right at 45 minutes. Well done,
nice. Bill. I said today, let's just do it in 30 minutes, which can't be done. But if you guys like this,
yeah, we want to see some.
If you got some value from this today, if any of this resonated with you today, if you felt this was even a moderately, remotely good use of your time, and you got some good stuff out of this, type a 3, numero 3, numero tres.
I loved it.
In the comment section below. And here's the deal. If there's anyone else that you know who might benefit from this, whether this is a friend, a family member, a teammate, someone that you're in business with, a partner, whatever, feel free to tag them in the comments section so they can watch this as well. And also feel free to share this if you're so inclined. If you think other people can benefit from this, you can always share this Facebook Live. And what else?
When you do Instagram stories and attach a link to the story, do you tell the people to swipe up to go to the link, or to the right or to the left? Oh no, I'll have to ask the kids. That's my question for you guys.
Yeah, that you just kind of derailed the whole thing.
All right, well, I see a lot of 3s. I see a lot of, I love it. You guys are awesome. Kennedy, we got to get to your question in the Power Players Club. Happy to have you there. Yep. Megan, our 19-year-old daughter, said you swipe up. She's listening. This is awesome.
Nice.
So we appreciate you guys. Again, every Friday, we're here. We're doing this.
Yes, and how do you, Lynn, you just tag someone, just type their name in the comments, and if you're like friends with them on Facebook, their name will like populate, right? You start typing their names, their name probably should populate in there. You just watch that their name pops up, Facebook will pop it up, and you just hit boom, just enter, then hit enter, like submit your comments, and they will have been tagged in the comments section, and they will now see that you tagged them, and they can watch this Facebook Live as well, and hopefully get benefit from it too. That's how you do that. You're welcome. Awesome. So you are all very awesome. It is obviously here. We're going to start our weekend off here. I'm probably going to go upstairs for a quick workout. I don't know what you're all going to do, but we're going to do something fun this weekend, and hope that you enjoyed this today. Hope you got some value. If you did, again, click the like button, click the heart button, share this with someone, tag someone that you think can benefit from this. And any final thoughts, Michelle?
That's it. We love you guys. Thanks for showing up, and have a fabulous weekend. And thanks for all the kind words to us too. We'll see you guys on next Friday.
Yeah, we'll see you next Friday, same time, with Real Talk with Bill and Michelle.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.